All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It's been a few minutes. Hopefully, we'll see a Pocket Pennant Run release tomorrow. Hopefully, Craig hasn't said anything, but I did get to mess around a little bit with 4.0 before. There were a couple of files. There was nothing terribly awful, but I understand Craig is a developer wanting to get things out and getting it as good as possible. And I'm telling you what, you guys, um, you're gonna absolutely love version 4 of Pocket Pennant Run Baseball. And bear in mind that when I do show it, you're seeing just the first implementation of Game Board Companion, whatever Board Game Companion, whatever he's calling it, and it's excellent. There's no syntax you have to worry about, anything like that. It's just superb, and I think as he keeps working on that and makes it as just that, what you're going to see as far as now when you create teams. So if you're doing like a bats league, or you're doing like creating your own fantasy league, whatever, the lineup generator now works correctly with the teams that you create, which I'm really chuffed about that. You can import you can import teams by bulk. He's, this has grown from it's growing by leaps and bounds, I think, from just this, this baseball game that fits into your palm of the hand, palm of your hand, into something that really must be given serious consideration, and especially its price point. So, should that be released tomorrow? And I know a lot of people off Monday, so I plan to do some baseball tomorrow anyhow. I'm hoping to be able to show you Pocket Pennant Run version 4. And you truly, just a little bit I've messing with it, when I was messing with it, just pretending I was just rolling up a game, which I think was really fun. Wow. It's really incredible. What you can do with it, no having to worry about remembering syntax or having PDFs up over on another side. It does it. And I think it, along with Digital Diamond Baseball, really offer great solutions for not only cards and dice players, but also for those of us who strictly play digital baseball, or mostly always play digital baseball. They both are nice hybrids that you can do with what you want. Man, I'll tell you what, we're just reaping the rewards of all these developers. Right now, I'm talking about Pocket Pennant Run text. We're hoping that the release will be sometime this weekend, so hopefully tomorrow. And again, I had a look at Pocket Pennant Run 4, and I was going to go live on it last night, and Craig asked me not to because there were a couple things that needed to be ironed out, and so hopefully it's just going to be a case of him getting it up there. But it's going to be incredible for cards and dice players, and for those of us who don't play cards and dice. It's still he's added so much. This update is not incremental. It's significant. It is significant. So you can even, if you're playing a dead ball game, you can call a game because of darkness. That's all kinds of stuff. I can't wait to show it to you guys. And again, I know there are people out there that are never going to try it. That to them, the only games in town are APBA and Strat, and well, it's their loss. Honestly, it's their loss. It's really it's growing into something amazing. And man, last night, so I'm talking about Friday night, I'm like at work, I'm like, I can't wait to get home and stream Pocket Pennant Run. And I got on and got the message. There's some issues with some files and some reproducible crashes. Yep. Had a bad experience with the software this weekend with the corrupt files. Yeah. So yeah, it just, yeah. So just hang tight. But like I said, they stated to do so. Yep. So it won't affect your earlier versions of Pocket Pennant Run, unless you've put everything in the same folder, which you should never do anyhow. Anyhow, but I got to play around with it for a little bit. It didn't crash on me at all. I got very lucky, I guess, just that day. But just what I saw and had my hands on, it's incredible. And the fact that you can play it with any game, just like you can with Digital Diamond Baseball, wow, it's incredible. It's just incredible. And for the prices they're asking, again, but if people want to keep on, feeding the greed machines out there, well, you play what you love. But, I mean, just because a game hasn't been around for 50 or 60 years, there's no reason to poo-poo it. But that's all right. The resistance to out of the park baseball continues too, big time, and it doesn't matter. What are you going to do? You can't, and that's not my mission. I don't, I'm not part of, I'm not partners with Matt McKeever and Craig Harris, but I can tell you what, man. This game is going to be around for a long time, and there's a lone developer doing this, man. And I don't know. I can't wait to show you guys what this can do. It's really, really, really fun. If there was a way I could have somebody on the mic with me and, go ahead. I'll just pick a game, roll a game. I don't care if it's History Maker Baseball, APBA, Strat, Payoff Pitch, Inside Pitch, whatever. You give me the dice results, and you're going to see that this game's going to be able to handle just about everything. And just brilliant. So, and, for a lot of people that have wished, that Out of the Park would have, dice entry things or Action PC would. Well, that's not what these are digital games. They're not meant to do that. But Pocket Pennant Run and Digital Diamond Baseball gives you that. And what's nice is, again, I think a lot of people use those things like Fast Score and stuff like that when they're doing season replays. And I know that they're based on some sound statistics and stuff like that. But to me, it's a little abstracted when you roll the dice, as opposed to looking at statistics of players. The other thing too is streaks and slumps. That's a new addition to the game, which is really cool. And again, I'm like really dying to, man, I'm going to be watching the Facebook group on my email like a hawk tomorrow. And as soon as I get that puppy up and running, man, we're going to be doing some Pocket Pennant Run fun. I don't care if there's only 2 people. I don't care if there's nobody in here. This game really deserves a lot of love, and it's going to have it. But we it's more alternatives, and it's good to have. And I want APBA and Strat to have the competition, and they already do from games like Inside Pitch and Payoff Pitch and Fall Classic and all these others. Well, now there's this new kid on the block, and people are forgetting that while the software does have some issues, this is a solid cards and dice game. It really is. It gives you all the essentials that you need, and with the software, you can just print out the cards if you want, or have the cards on the screen and roll the dice. And guess what? No crashing issues. All you got to do is hit batter up, roll, score it, whatever. All right. Anyhow, I thought instead of going to the Decades League tonight, we just play a game in 1971, and I wanted to pick a nice sort of rivalry. So tonight's going to be the Cardinals visiting the Cubs. So Carlton versus Hands. So when Steve Carlton was a Cardinal. How about that? So let's have a little fun. Saturday night, we'll see if anybody comes in. And if not, well, that's cool too. It's all good. I'm just here because I feel like doing some baseball. And I do miss everybody, of course. All right. Did I click play? Yes, I did. There we go. All right. Just going to let the computer line up and do its thing. And let's go. All right, welcome to windy Wrigley Field. It's the Cardinals and the Cubs. Steve Carlton will be taking the hill for the Cards, and he'll be opposed by Bill Hands for the Chicago Cubs. And it is windy, 58 degrees, nice. but the wind speed is 26 miles per hour. Strong cross breeze here from right to left. So it should be interesting here in this this National Historical Landmark. By the way, the other thing hey, Truth Hurts. He says, play ball. Tex says, now that I can start doing this. So the way I understand it, currently I have the old version of your C drive and a folder called Pocket Pennant Run. Then inside, no, well, yeah. So what I do is I keep them on my desktop because that way you don't, yeah. So it's on my C desktop drive, right? C user's desktop. You don't want to put it in program files. They even suggest not doing that. So I could fire up an older version of Pocket Pennant Run and it's fine. And I didn't get rid of 4.0 yet. But when the new one, the new 4.0, the fixed 4.0, then I will. So he says, now when the update comes, extracting the Pocket Pennant Run your C drive, it'll be separate. Yeah, always in a separate folder. But no, don't even not in the PPR folder. Give it its own folder. And Paul's already shown on one of his videos how to migrate some of your data. I'll show you how to do it too. It's super simple. Copy, paste a few files. You're ready to go. Don't keep everything in the same Pocket Pennant Run folder. Rather, when there's a new version, and this is a new version. This is not an update. This is a new, right? It's a version 4.0. It's got to reside in its own folder, but you can bring your data over from previous versions. I'll show you how to do that. Really simple. So that will answer your question. Do not keep everything. So it's a separate folder. If you put everything in one PPR folder, you're going to get crashes all over the place. It's got to be in its own folder. I'll show you. The other thing I can only throw out a teaser. So I'm also beta testing Out of the Park 26, and there's a new feature, augmented feature in the game that I can't wait to show you guys in Out of the Park 26, but NDAs and all that kind of stuff can't show you until the early access, I guess, sometime in March. But it's brilliant, and they've done some neat things with the interface as well. It's all I can say about it at this point, but except to say that I believe that this is going to be an amazing addition. Out of the Park Baseball. It usually comes out around March. So, but there's an addition they made, an additional game mode that oh my God, I'm already messing with it and it's super cool, but I can't tell you even what it is. All right, let's play ball. So there's a little teaser for you from that front. Play ball. All right, Matty Lou to lead things off here, early season here. This is 1971, as played lineups, as played schedule. He's starting out 3 for 5. He's got a double. All right, Bill Hands has finished his warm-ups. We're ready to go here in windy Chicago. 0-1 pitch on the way to Matty Lou. Swung on, fly ball, popped in the infield, and Don Kessinger ranges to his left and makes the catch. So 1 up, 1 down now. And here's the shortstop, Ted Sizemore. That's how I would hear like recordings of Bob Prince, Pirates broadcast, who say Ted Sizemore. So Sizemore 0 for 4 to start the season here in 1971. Hand studies, and here we go. Ground ball. Beckert has it on to Joe Pepitone. We'll keep it in English tonight. Pepitone for the 4-3 putout. So 2 Cardinals up, 2 down here for Lou Brock. So Lou Brock 3 for 3 in the season, including a double, triple, and 2 RBI, even has a stolen base. All right, Hands deals 1-1 pitch, and Brock laces this one to left base hit. Billy Williams up with it, gets it into Kessinger. So Lou Brock aboard with 2 down, and batting in the cleanup spot for the Cardinals is Joe Torre. Joe Torre 1 for 3 with an RBI in the season. Hands brings it home, 1-1 pitch, and Brock was on the move. Base hit, and Brock with his speed makes it to third. Ortiz up with it in center field. Torre at first, Brock at third, 2 away here, just underway here in Chicago for Jose Cardinal. Cardinal 2 for 4 with an RBI. So Cardinals threatening with 2 on and 2 out here. Hands throws over, and Joe Torre is picked off. Joe Torre caught napping at first. So that ends the inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. After a half inning, the Cardinals nothing, and the Cubbies coming to bat. Let's have a look at the Cardinals starting defense. We'll look at the Cubs in the top of the second. In left field, it's Lou Brock. In center, Matty Alou. In right, Jose Cardinal. At first base, Joe Haig. At second, Julian Javier. At short, Ted Sizemore. At third, Joe Torre. Catching is Ted Simmons. And on the mound, Steve Carlson, wearing his Phillies livery. This is before he was a Philly. All right, Don Kessinger will lead things off. The switch hitter batting righty against the lefty Carlson. Starting off the season, 0 for 4. You're welcome, Tex. Truth Hurts Wookie says last year Keith Law posted his top 100 prospects, and in the comment section sent a message, Colton Cowser should be in the top 50, wasn't even listed, came back and blew you off. Some people are going to do that, man. So as if the Dodgers, you say Teddy used to be a Dodger, so talking about the Dodgers, as if they didn't need any more help. Sasaki goes to the Dodgers. I was talking to somebody at work about that today, and he's like, do the Dodgers have just this direct pipeline to Japan? So Dodgers have Sasaki. We'll see how that all works out for them. All right. I guess maybe they'll buy another World Series. Who knows? I mean, they won it fair and square last year, but all the crumbling they've done in the off season. We'll see if Sasaki lives up, as Ernie Harwell would say. Let's see if he lives up to his advanced billing. Kind of knew he was going to go there. I mean, come on, Shohei Ohtani going to the Dodgers. Ohtani is such a hero. And hey, Sasaki's following the money. And I don't think Toronto. I know the Blue Jays were kind of in the running for Sasaki, but I wasn't shocked when I saw he went with the Dodgers. It's like, yeah, makes sense. All right. 0-2 pitch on the way. Kessinger swings. This one driven deep to left field. This one off the wall. And the Cubbies, Don Kessinger with the lead-off double. So the Cubs already have a runner in scoring position. And here's the second baseman, Glenn Beckert. He's 2 for 4 in the season. Kessinger at second base. That was a done deal from the beginning. Yeah, there's no way he would have gone to Toronto. Absolutely. Truth hurts. So we'll see. I mean, hey, not a bad move by the Dodgers to add him. That's for sure, right? Great move, perhaps. 0-1 pitch. Beckert. Oh, Javier ranging to his far right, making the stop. That definitely would have been an RBI, but instead, out number 1. But Don Kessinger moves to third. So go ahead run here in the bottom of the first, just 90 feet away from the Chicago Cubs. And here comes the great Billy Williams. Billy 0 for 4 starting the season. We're just in game 2. Williams swings, base hits. This one's going to go all the way to the wall. Cardinal chases it down. Kessinger will score. Billy Williams with an RBI double, and the Cubs with an early 1-0 lead. All right, batting in the number 4 slot here is the third baseman, Ron Santo. He is 0 for 3. Cubs looking to see him heat up. In the 1971 season, Santo with 21 round trippers and 88 runs batted in. All right, Carlton brings it home, 3-0 pitch. And this one coming in just a bit low, and Santo will take first. Steve Carlton gives up the walk, and Joe Pepitone now strides to the plate. Lefties 1 for 3 in the season with a run batted in. Carlton brings it home, 2-0 pitch. Pepitone swings, and this one lined all the way to the corner and right. Billy Williams is going to score, and Ron Santo will come around to score. Joe Pepitone has a 2 RBI triple, and the Chicago Cubs jump out to a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. Cardinals and the Cubbies. All right, here's Johnny Callison now, former Philadelphia Philly. Johnny, 0 for 4. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys, for some Saturday baseball. Carlton from the stretch in the 1-2 pitch. Callison pops this one up on the infield, first base side. Haig ranging out, calling off Cardinal, and makes the catch for out number 2. Nowhere for Joe Pepitone. And here's Jose Ortiz. So the Cubby center fielder with an 0 for 4 start in the game. So saw limited action in 1971. So we may have an injury. Haven't checked. 0-2 pitch. Ortiz swings. Fly ball to right. Cardinal backpedals and makes the catch. But big inning for the Northsiders. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors. We've played an inning here 1971 at Wrigley Field, Chicago Cubs lead the St. Louis Cardinals 3-0. Jose Cardenal will lead things off here. And let's look at the starting defense as promised for the Chicago Cubs. In left field, Hall of Famer Billy Williams. In center, Jose Ortiz. In right, Johnny Callison. At first base, Joe Pepitone. At second, Glenn Beckert. At short, Don Kessinger. At third, Hall of Famer Ron Santo. Catching, Ken Rudolph. And pitching, Bill Hands. So Hands with a record in 1971 of a 3.42 earned run average, 12-18 for wins and losses. He worked 242 and a third innings, walked 50 and struck out 128 with a whip, pretty respectable 1.230. National League hit 260 against Hands in 1971. Cardenal off to a 2-for-4 start with a run batted in. Will lead things off here for the Cards in the top of the second. Bill Hands brings it home behind 3-1, and this one low. Hands taking a little bit off of that one, and Cardenal reaches first base. So emblematic of the Cardinals, of course, speed on the base paths. 12 steals for Cardenal back in 1971. Here's Joe Haig now. Left-handed hitting first baseman is 0-for-4 to start the season. Cardenal leads off first. Bill Hands checks the runner, throws over. Cardenal dives back. Close call there. Cardenal able to get his hand on the bag, gets up, dusts himself off, leads off first again. Hands has a look over at first, gets the sign from Rudolph, and throws home. Pitch out, nothing doing. So trying to keep Jose Cardenal on the bag. 1-0 pitch on the way. Haig swings, popped up. Third base side, Kessinger and Santo converge. Kessinger will take charge and make the catch. So one down now for Ted Simmons. Simmons, 0-for-4. Bill Hands works, count even at 2, and this one base hit right field. Callison playing it on the short hop, fires it into Beckert. Say Glenn Beckert made a poor play on that. I think it just got under the webbing of his glove. Early going here, maybe not limbered up enough yet. 2 on for the Cardinals, and the potential tying run comes to the plate in Julian Javier. Just 3 home runs in 1971. He's 1-for-4 in this season. Now the season replay. Cardenal at second, trailing him, Ted Simmons at first. Bill Hands with the 0-1 delivery. Javier swings, pops straight up behind the plate. Rudolph drops the ball. So that is an E2 and a little gift from the Cubbies there, or could have been a gift from the Cubbies. So there's an error, but nobody able to advance. All right, here we go. 0-2 pitch. Javier swings. Beckert, nice stop. Beckert to Kessinger to Pepitone. Big inning-ending double play. Wow. So the Cubs shut down the Cardinals again. We go to the bottom of the second. It's 3-0 here. Ken Rudolph, Bill Hands, and Don Kessinger drew up the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. All right. So Ken Rudolph, he's off to a 1-for-2 start. Has himself a double. Carlton deals 0-2 pitch, and there we go. Steve Carlton comes in with a little bit old-fashioned heat, and this one on the outside corner completely tripping up Rudolph. 1 away now for Bill Hands, not known for his prowess at the plate, making his first plate appearance of the season, but in 1971 historically batted .083. Did have 4 RBI, though, so that's something to write home about. Carlton winds and deals, and this one laced hard into center field, and Matty Alou getting to that ball. So Bill Hands saying, hang on a second, and swings the ash and picks up the Cubs' 4th base hit. All right, back at the top of the order now for the Cubs, and Don Kessinger with a double back in the first. 3-run first for the Chicago Cubs. Lefty deals, 1-0 pitch. Kessinger swings, and this one base hit into left field. Brock up with it, fires into Sizemore. 2 Cubs on, 1 down now for Glenn Beckert, who is 0-for-1. Grounded to second, and on that play, Kessinger moved to third. Kessinger would score in that 3-run Chicago first. Carlton brings it home, the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, routine fly ball to right. Cardenal under it, makes the catch. And Bill Hands not moving anywhere. So web gem out there for Jose Cardenal. All right, Billy Williams up now. had that RBI double that scored Don Kessinger, scoring the first run for the Chicago Cubs. 1-2 pitch on the way. Williams swings, and this one, line drive base hit left field. Bill Hands will score. And Chicago Cubs piling it on, tallying up another one here. It's 4-0 now. As the slugging third baseman, Ron Santo, in the box now. Santo walked back in the first. Kessinger at second, trailing him is Billy Williams. Carlton brings it home behind 3-1 to Santo. And this one a little bit high and tight. And Chicago has loaded the bases with 2 down. Joe Pepitone now, and on the left-hand side of the box, he had that big triple that scored Williams and Santo. So can Joe find some more magic in that stick of ash? Let's see. 1-0 pitch. Pepitone swings. Grounder to Javier. Julian Javier bobbles the ball. So that expensive E4 allows the run to score. 5-0 Chicago. All right, here's Johnny Callison. He is nothing for one. Cardinals looking for that elusive third out. Base is still sold out. First pitch swinging by Callison, and Javier on to Haig for the 4-3 putout. But the Cubs pick up 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error. They leave them loaded. We've played 2. The Chicago Cubs lead the St. Louis Cardinals here in 1971, 5-0. Truth Hurts Wilkie says, but Action PC Baseball, but you've not installed it yet. Okay. Says you're allowed 2 downloads. But the thumb drive, which you haven't received yet, can you just play the game off the thumb? Never tried it. But what I do is I just back up my my install, my executable install. I have it backed up on my Google Drive. I suppose you could. You know, we're not talking a game like Path of Exile 2 here or something. So I suppose you could. I've never tried it, but I don't see why you couldn't. But you definitely, as you accumulate ballparks and things like that, you're going to want to have a drive with some decent capacity. So again, most USB sticks now. I'm looking at 2 here. Each stick is 128 gigs, so I don't see why you couldn't. So, you still have to install it. And here's the thing: you have to set the install path. And really, Action PC Baseball, the way it works, you can install it to any drive, but it's been my experience since playing this game starting in 2017, pardon me, that it's better to let it to install to its default location, but you certainly could try. But you know what's going to take up room is not the game itself, it's your DK Sports data. And mine is like gigabytes large, but that's because of ballparks and stuff like that. But if you have the room, install it in your computer. And Dave Cook's cool. It's not like he's going to be modding your PC or anything like that. I think what that really means is you're allowed to. You have the 2 downloads, but you can have it on a few different computers. There's no DRM on this or anything like that. So, all right, where are we? Steve Carlton leads things off here in the top of the third for the St. Louis Cardinals. Back to the top of the order, Matty Alou and Ted Sizemore. Carlton, back in 1971, had a 177 average. He did hit 4 doubles and batted in 8. All right, Bill Hands studies Carlton, now has the sign from Dick Rudolph. 0-2 pitch, and Carlton looks at this one in the outside corner for strike 3. Bill Hands notches his first strikeout. Back at the top of the order now for the Cardinals. Matty Lou, who popped out to Kessinger at short, back in the first. Hands the 2-2 pitch. Matty Lou looks at one on the inside corner. Bill Hands has now whiffed his second Cardinal. 2 away now for the shortstop Ted Simmons. He grounded to second back in the first. Hands into the line, full count. This one going foul, and that's going to go into the seats. Third base side. Count remains full, 2 down. Hands brings it home, and Ted Sizemore gets him on the inside edge, so picks up strikeout number 3. We go to the bottom of the third. The Cubs lead the Cardinals 5-0. All right, Jose Ortiz, Dick Rudolph, and Bill Hands do up the bottom of the order of the Chicago Cubs. Ortiz fly down the right field line back in the first. Carlton deals 1-2 pitch. Oh, and this one hit hard up the middle by Jose Ortiz. And the Chicago Cubs now with their 7th base knock in the game. And here's the catcher, Dick Rudolph. He went down on strikes against Steve Carlton, the only strikeout thus far issued by Carlton in the game. 2-1 pitch. Rudolph swings. Bouncer towards short. Sizemore will go to Javier, on to Haig. And we have a 6-4-3 double play. So that erases those Cubbies off the bases. 2 down. And St. Louis looking for its first 3, just straight up 3 out easy inning off these Cubs. But Bill Hands, we talked about his lack of prowess with the bat and had himself a single to right center back in the 2nd inning. Carlton deals, count full on Hands, and you never want to walk the pitcher, especially down 5 runs. So Carlton at 63 pitches. And we are back at the top of the order. Don Kessinger is a perfect 2 for 2 today, as a double and a single. Carlton having a rough day. 0-2 pitch. Curveball on the way and grounded to Sizemore, who fires onto Joe Haig, and that'll be a 6-3 putout. So the Cubs, for the first time in this game, turned away. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, a man left. We've played 3 here at Wrigley Field, originally called Wigman Field, built for the Chicago Federal League Club. It is 5-0 as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Clee baseball fan joining us here. John DFW with us. Nathaniel Lentz. Wow, man. Nathaniel, great to see you. So Tim, Nathaniel, John, welcome in, guys. Thanks for joining me for a little Saturday night baseball. All right, here's Lou Brock. Lou Brock 1 for 1. For a while was baseball's all-time stolen base leader until that guy, Ricky Henderson. All right. Bill Hands works to Carlton. 0-1 pitch, and Brock just dribbler down to third, but Brock with great speed could beat this one out. No, they get him just by the proverbial hair. Good, strong peg by Santo. He knew as soon as that ball was coming to him that the great Lou Brock could be ripping down the line. So Hall of Famer nails another Hall of Famer. All right, here's Joe Torre now. Torre singled back in the 1st. St. Louis has managed 3 hits off of Bill Hands, but 2 not. All right, here we go. 2-2 pitch. And this one a little floater out to left, but this is going to make the seats. The count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hands brings it home. 2-2 pitch. Swing straightened out. Santo diving, stopped, thrown on to Joe Pepitone. Ron Santo show here in the top of the 4th. Great play there by Santo. All right. So here's Jose Cardenal. He walked back in the 2nd. Stolen base threat if he gets on. Hands brings it. 1-1 pitch. Fouled, 3rd base side. Santo gives chase. And this one's going to go back about 20 rows on the left-hand side. Nathaniel says it's good to be here. Misses baseball already. So do I. And after the snowstorm we have tomorrow, we're supposed to get absolutely like polar, super cold weather next week. So I'm jonesing for baseball, but we are less than 30 days from spring training, gentlemen. So it's coming back. And remember, 9th February, I believe that's the night of the Super Bowl. That's going to be our all-day, all-evening, all-night baseball extravaganza for those of you not interested in football, or you want to come by after the game, please do, because it's after the Super Bowl that it's handed back to baseball, baby. All right, here we go. Cardinal in there. Hands deals 1-2 pitch. Oh, Kessinger now making a nice play. Cubs pretty strong here in that infield. Cardinal is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom of the 4th. The Cubs lead the Cardinals 5-0. Glenn Beckert now. Billy Williams and Ron Santo, the number 2, 3, 4 slots, due up for the hometown Northsiders. Glenn Beckert has grounded out, and he has flown out. Carlton brings it. 2-1 pitch. Base hit. Here come the Cubbies again. That's hit number 8 for the Chicago Cubs. All right, Billy Williams. Billy 2 for 2. Billy Williams in this game also with 2 RBI. Great player. Never got to be in the World Series. 1-1 pitch coming into Billy now. Billy swings, fly ball, shallow right. Cardinal ranges in, makes the catch. Beckert scampers back to first, 1 away now for Ron Santo. Santo has walked twice, so Carlton has 2 of the 3 batters he's walked has been Mr. Santo. 2-2 pitch. Oh, this one, Santo swinging from the hills, nothing but air. 2 down for Joe Pepitone, 1 for 2. Big story on him was back in the first, a 2 RBI triple. He was safe in an error back in the third that allowed Kessinger to score, but that was a bases loaded situation. 0-2 pitch on the way, and Joe Pepitone looks at a called strike 3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. We have played 4 now complete in Chicago. It's 5-0 in favor of the Cubs. So the Cubs scoring 3 in the first, 2 in the second. The line for Chicago right now, 5-8-1 for the Cardinals, 0-3-1. St. Louis is stranded 2. Chicago have allowed 6 to twist in the wind. Joe Haeg, nothing for 1. Cardinal first baseman popped a short back in the second. Hands pitching a pretty fine game. 3-hit shutout right now, up to 52 pitches. 2-0 pitch. And this one, liner to right, Johnny Callison gloves it for out number 1. Ted Simmons now, as he walks to the plate, he's 1 for 1. Singled back in the second. 1 of only 3 Cardinal hits in this game. Bill Hands count full, and Hands loses them. This one up and in. Hands trying to establish strike zone and instead loses Simmons. So coming to the plate now is Julian Javier, and Javier would like to absolve himself of that expensive error committed back in the second inning. But last time he grounded into a double play. Hands ready to come home with a toes the rubber. 1-0 pitch. Hard hit ball to Beckert to Kessinger. Back to Pepitone. 4-6-3 double play. The Cardinals cannot get it done. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Cubs lead the Cardinals 5-0 in this wonderful old rivalry. Johnny Callison will lead things off. Then Jose Ortiz and Dick Rudolph. Callison, the game is popped out and grounded out. Mike Silva joining us here for a little bit of action. PC says, "What's up, mofo?" Lefty-lefty matchup here. Carlton deals, and big swing and a miss by Johnny Callison. So 1 away now for Jose Ortiz. 1 for 2, singled back in the third. Carlton winds deals. 1-0 pitch, and this one lined hard into center field. Base hit. Alou playing it on the hop. He runs in on that ball, and it ends up hitting the ivy out there in center. All right, Dick Rudolph, nothing for 2. Ortiz at first, not really a threat to steal, just 2 steals in 1971 for him. Ken Rudolph, nothing for 2, has struck out and grounded into a double play. Simmons sets up, and Carlton deals. The count, 1 ball, no strikes, and this one line to center, and Alou this time running in aggressively and makes the catch. So 2 out. Nice play out there in center field by Matty Alou. Bill Hands, 1 for 1, including a walk. 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th. Hands swings, grounder back to Carlton. Carlton on to Joe Haeg, and that will retire the side. We go to the top of the 6th. Chicago leads St. Louis 5-0. David Lando, what's going on, y'all? And Carlos Yaz. I haven't seen Carlos in quite a long time. I miss you guys too, Mike. I really do. Jamie is here. I'll be popping in some evening, man. I'll be popping in some evening to say what's up. So, yeah, man, this is great. Have I had okay, so Appago. So I tell you about Appago. In my opinion, it's not worth the money. And I'm an Appa fan. It's not worth the money. You get 1 ballpark with it. And it's been like, I first tried it, I think in late 2019, early 2020. And I just saw a recent video. It's still Great American Ballpark. It's just the Appa Basic game. There's nothing wrong with the Appa Basic game. But Baseball for Windows is better. But if you had to choose, if I had to choose between Strat Max and Appago, I would play Strat Max. 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. They're roughly the same price. I would suggest getting Strat Max if you're interested in that kind of service. Apago just it's more limited. Now, again, I haven't tried it myself, but I couldn't see it. Yeah, $22 a month, you get every player in history. Strat Max gives you the same thing, but Strat Max gives you a lot more room. Yeah, you still have the one ballpark thing, but it's kind of I don't know, it's better, but it still doesn't do what I want. As far as National Pastime 3 goes, the guy that you want to talk to is so now, no, do I like Out of the Park Go better? Hell yes. Thanks, Joe. I love Out of the Park Go. If I knew how to stream from Android, I'd be doing some Out of the Park Go games. But Apago, I don't think it's worth the money. I think Strat's better value. And again, because I play baseball for Windows, which has many, many, many more options, Apago to me is like I might as well just, open the window and once every month and throw $22 out into the frigid winter air and spring air and summer air and all that. National Pastime 3, I know Clinton Parks is a fan of that one. Good solitaire game. Strat Max, John telling us here that it's getting a major update too with faster speeds and tournaments. Good. The tournaments, John, could draw me back to it. That was the thing I was missing. Just being able to play just two teams against each other. It's kind of like, come on, I want a little bit more. And if they're doing that, I'll give it another shot. I really do like Strat Max and the different ways you can play it. And they're not just throwing basic strat at you with limited choices. There's a lot you can do with it. And that's saying, and I'm an APA fan, and I would play Strat Max. All right, 'tis I, though. What the hell do I know, man? All right, not a lot. Really, this is true. I don't know a lot. I don't know much, but I know I love Action PC Baseball 2025. And I love, boy, Mike, you and I got to have a private chat sometime because of that other baseball game we're beta testing. And I'm pretty stoked so far, man. And I haven't given anything away. I'm just saying I'm stoked about this edition so far in the limited time I've been trying to break the game. I'm like chuffed. I love it. All right. And that's all I can say. Or Matt Arnold will come and beat me up. And I don't want that. Steve Carlton struck out his last time up. Bill Hands ready to deal. 1-1 pitch on the way. Carlton connects. Diving stop by Don Kessinger. And again, so these St. Louis Cardinals just not able to get anything done. Bill Hands preserving the 3-hitter here. All goose eggs up there for the St. Louis Cardinals. And that should make David Lando happy. Chicago team putting the whomping on the St. Louis Cardinals. Back at the top of the order now for Matty Alou. He's popped a short and struck out. Alou swings in the first pitch, hard ground ball. Becker, quick snap onto Joe Pepitone for the 4-3 putout. So 2 away here in the top of the 6th, baseball fans. It brings up Ted Simmons. Cardinal shortstop is 0-2, struck out his last time up. Bill Hands has the sign he likes from Dick Rudolph. Here's the wind in the 1-1 pitch. And this one, grounded to first. Pepitone feeds it onto Bill Hands, covering for the 3-1 putout. And once again, St. Louis goes down in ignominy. Do you like that word? All right, we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Cubs still lead this one 5-0. Don Kessinger, good day at the plate for him. 2 for 3. So Kessinger, Beckert, and Williams, we're back at the top of the order for the Northsiders. Carlton brings it home. 2-1 pitch on the way, swung on. A little too hopper to short. Javier quickly gets rid of it to Joe Haig. So much to the chagrin of the Chicago faithful, 1 away. All right, Glenn Beckert is 1 for 3. Singled back in the 4th. And 2-0 pitch. And this one scooted down the third base line. Long throw by Joe Torre. Haig making the stretch, retiring Beckert for out number 2. Billy Williams, 2 for 3. Billy having an excellent day at the plate. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Carlton deals. Carlton loses. Billy Williams. So Billy on, and let's look at any indications of speed. Not much. 7 steals in 1971. Here's Ron Santo, 0 for 1, 2 walks. Carlton deals. 2-0 pitch on the way to the Cubby third baseman. Fly ball, center field. Matty Alou tracks it down. That will end the 6th. It is still 5-0. So the number 3, 4, 5 hitters due up here for the St. Louis Cardinals. Lou Brock, Joe Torre, and Jose Cardenal. So here we go. So we got a Lou and 2 Joes coming up. I don't know if we could read anything into that linguistically or not. As Mike Silva says, Bill Hands sounds like a perv to him. So, but Truth Hurts Wokey. Yeah, I've seen Clinton Parks play National Pastime. Looks like a cool game. And of course, there's the free, if you haven't checked it out, National Pastime Next Generation Plus, which has just about every damn season. So if you've never checked it out, check it out. It's another APA clone. So hands groomed Mel Hall, says Carlos Yaz. Carlos, it's so good to see you, man. I hope all is well with you. All right. And of course, Mike Silva, we know, troublemaker that he is, but always great to see him. Been reaching out to Mike Garland. He's just been so busy. So hopefully, guys, we'll be able to get Mike on for those series of deep dives for Out of the Park, but I don't want to pressure him. He's busy, and I know there's a league he wanted to start. He hasn't even gotten around on that. So if he hasn't gotten around to that, he's not ready to do any sort of Out of the Park deep dives. Maybe it'll wait until 26 comes out. But really looking forward to doing that with him, and maybe we can cajole, coerce, bribe, whatever, Mike Silva to also maybe join in, because you're talking about 2 guys that know so many aspects about Out of the Park baseball. Again, all I can say is you guys are going to love the additions to. There's a major addition to Out of the Park baseball that I'm like so chuffed about, man. And that's all I can say. But it's cool, and some nice interface things are in there too. It's going to be worth it. All right. So here we go. Here's Lou Brock now. Brock starting off the 7th inning here. Cardinals need to get to work. Bill Hands brings an 0-1 pitch. Brock tries to bunt and cannot get on. Dick Rudolph pounces on that ball, like Brown on whatever you want to call it, and fires down to Joe Pepitone. Clinton Parks. So he says the seasons in National Pastime Next Generation Plus are work in progress. 90s decade is gapped right now. And he's been gifted a season for pushing National Pastime Next Generation Plus as much as he has over the years. Yeah, good game. It's a good game. I've played it. Yes, Mike Garland. I've had him on here already, and I'm using a couple of his mods in Out of the Park 25, Mike. Yeah, he is an aficionado. He was like, somebody was arguing like one night, like how Out of the Park is like not, the old argument that it's not accurate. And Mike was hitting the math deep, man. Whoa. It was pretty impressive to listen to. But just the ease in which he's like, oh no, if you do this and this coefficient and that, and even for setting up seasons. And then I said, man, would you be willing to do a series of deep dives live here? And he said, yes. So that's what, hoping for, using his integrated mod, which is brilliant. He also has an all-time greats franchise mod, which is fantastic. But the integrated mod is just a work of genius. He and Lansdowne Street, what a job they did. So Out of the Parkers, go get the integrated mod. It's in the Steam Workshop. And with that, Mike Silva's ballparks and uniform mod, dude, you're in baseball heaven. Almost baseball heaven. Almost baseball heaven. All right, Joe Torre 1 for 2 now. Torre batting in the cleanup spot, 1 away. Jose Cardenal waits on deck. So Lou Brock tried to bunt his way aboard to no avail. And first pitch swinging. This one, line drive base hit. Billy Williams up with it. So Joe Torre aboard. And Joe Torre with just 4 steals in 1971. But see, the Cardinals might try to push it here. Here's Jose Cardinal. Walked and grounded to short. Torre conservative lead off first. Rudolph with the signs. Hands has one he likes. Brings it home. Throw down to first. And Joe Torre just gets back. So earlier in the game, Joe Torre was caught napping off first to end the inning. So they're trying something here, but Joe Torre is not Lou Brock. All right, Cardinal back in the box. The count, 1 ball, no strikes. And how about that? So it actually came 1-2. My fault there, guys. Late called strike. So 2 down. I thought it said 1-0. It was 1-2. All right, here's Joe Haeg now. He has nothing for 2. He's popped out, lined out. Cardinals looking for any sort of break they can get. 2-1 pitch on the way. Haeg swings, and this one liner right to Jose Ortiz. 7th inning stretch time. The Cubbies lead the Cardinals 5-0. Saw Jamie's comment. Baseball Replay Journal can play National Pastime 3 in about 11 seconds. I believe it. This is a fast-moving game anyhow, right? So John says hopefully historical will even be better. I can't talk about anything in specific right now, but I can say that there's a new game mode that's so cool, or an augmented game mode. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It's cool. I'm loving it so far. And that's all I'm allowed to say. So Jamie says that we can't fall behind the Ruskies in the 90s and have a 90s gap. Love it. And Mike says that he'd love to hear what Mike Garland has to say. Lansdowne, good people too. Yeah, Mike is he's a good guy, man. Really affable and just a lot of fun. And this guy is like so zoned in. I mean, I felt like I was talking to one of the developers of Out of the Park Baseball. It was almost like, okay, I'm speaking to Marcus Heinsohn, who maybe lost his German accent or something. I think I'm permitted to say this much. Some people were worried that with Marcus he's still, I guess, allowed, he's doing a little bit of work or did some work. But guys, Out of the Park Baseball is in good hands. It's in good hands. All right, so we get the sort of whiffy waffle language here. The Carlton seems strong. So let me see. Carlton. We're letting the computer. We'll see what the computer does here or whatever. So, but he's good for about 30 more pitches. All right, Joe Pepitone 1 for 3 again. A big triple back in the first. They gave the Cubbies a 3-0 lead, and they have not looked back. 1-1 pitch on the way to Pepitone, and this one well hit to right, but a little bit too much in altitude. Jose Cardinal runs it down, 1 away. Johnny Callison, a disappointing 0 for 3, struck out his last time up. Carlton, 2-1 pitch. A little roller back to Carlton. Plenty of time. He could have walked it over to first. Score that one 1-3, 2 down now for Jose Ortiz. 2 singles in the game for Jose. 1-2 pitch. Swung on. Bounding ball, first baseline. Joe Haeg will take it to the bag himself. That ends the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the top of the 8th. 5-0, Cubbies. And we'll see the number 7, 8, 9 hitters. Simmons, Javier, and we'll see if Steve Carlton actually bats for himself. All right, so Ted Simmons with a single and a walk in this game. Bill Hands working hard. Pot behind the plate. Rudolph tosses aside the mask and makes the catch in foul territory. 1 down now for Julian Javier. He is 0 for 2, including grounding into a double play. Also has the lone Cardinal error. Bill Hands brings it home behind 2-1. This one, two-hopper to short. Kessinger quickly releases onto Joe Pepitone for out number 2. Here's Steve Carlton now. Going to take his looks at the plate. Nope. So Bob Berta will come in to pitch. Steve Carlton's day is done. Berta swings, base hit, right field. And that will give us a chance to have a quick look here at Bob Berta in 1971. Saw limited action. 65 games, 71 at bats, a home run, 12 runs batted in for him. No steals. All right, here's Matty Alou, 0 for 3. Cardinals trying to get something going here in the 8th inning, baseball fans. Bill Hands deals 1-0 pitch. They had to hit and run on. Callison up with the ball and scoring all the way is Bill Berta. And finally, here in the 8th, the Cardinals get on the board. It's 5-1. Big double there by Matty Alou. All right, here's Ted Sizemore. He's grounded out twice and struck out. Matty Alou in scoring position in second, 2 down, top of the 8th, 1 in for the Cardinals. 0-1 pitch. And Rudolph blocks this one. Oof. That one almost getting away from him. So Bill Hands breathing a little sigh of relief as he grabs the rosin bag. All right, climbs back up on the mound. Sets, looks back at Alou at second, ready to deal to Sizemore. The 1-1 pitch. Sizemore swings, fly ball, center field. And Jose Ortiz has it for the final out. We need a Phillies pitcher. All right, just going by the percentages here. Let me see here. Well, lefties haven't done a lot here, so I think we're going to bring in Mo Drabowski. I think we'll bring in Mo Drabowski. All right. So Bob Berta came in and did his job. All right, bottom of the 8th, 5-1 Chicago lead. Drabowski's job, keep these Cubbies quiet. Ken Rudolph, 0 for 3 in the contest. Drabowski finished his warm-up pitches 2-1. This one lined foul, first base side. This one will bungle around in the dugout a little bit here. All right, Rudolph back in there, 2-2 pitch. And this one hit hard up the center field. And Dick Rudolph turning on the Jets, picks up a double. The Cubbies now in double digits in hits, and they've been doing it with extra base hits today, too. All right, here's Bill Hands, Chicago. Undoubtedly going to allow him to pitch, of course, with a 4-run lead. 0-1 pitch. Bill Hands, little bounding ball. Joe Torre ranging him from third, fires to Javier covering on the play. On the play, Rudolph moves to third. So 1 away now. Don Kessinger, 2 for 4 for him. Drabowski works out of the stretch in the 1-2 pitch. Popped high on the infield. Joe Haig calling off Cardinal, who was ranging in from right. He'll make the catch. 2 down. Nowhere for Dick Rudolph to go. Glenn Beckert, 1 for 4. His hit came back in the 4th. Drabowski brings it home. 2-0 pitch. Swung on. Fly ball. Matty Alou on his horse. Tracks it down. Top of the 9th. Last chance for the St. Louis Cardinals. It'll be Lou Brock, Joe Torre, and Jose Cardinal as Aaron Reed, the man of 1,000 voices, joins us. Good to see you, Aaron. All right. So Brock is 1 for 3 in the game. Singled way back in the ancient first. 0-2 pitch. Bill Hands looking for the complete game win here. 1 down. Joe Torre, 2 for 3. Bill Hands sets and deals. Count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fly ball. Easy fly ball to right field. Johnny Callison has it for out number 2. Jose Cardinal now up there. And Cardinal was back on base just once in his game. He walked, so he's grounded out, struck out. Bill Hands brings it. Count full. Fly ball to right. This should do it. Johnny Callison has it. Bill Hands goes the distance and takes this one from the Cardinals. Looking at a quick game recap here. For the Cubs, they go to 1-1. The Cardinals fall to 1-1. Chicago Cubs 5-10-1. The line on them. For the Cardinals 1-6-1. Bill Hands gets the win, goes to 1-0. Carlton gets the loss, goes to 0-1. No highlights really for these Cardinals. Billy Williams, though, for the Cubs goes 2 for 3, 2 runs batted in. Don Kessinger 2 for 5 with a double. And we had a triple in this game. Made me very happy. So Steve Carlton, 7 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, walked 4, struck out 4. Begins the 1971 season with a 5.14 earned run average. Mo Drabowski came in, worked an inning in relief. Bill Hands gets the win, goes the distance, gave up 6 hits, 1 earned run, walked 2, struck out 5. So an ERA of 1.0. Bill Hands should be your player of the game. And indeed he is. So there we go. Fun stuff. So I don't know if you guys feel like typing. Let me know what projects you might be working on offline or whatever. And we're going to sim out a couple games here just because we can. So Cox McNally. So Senators. And this is going to be opening day for the Baltimore Orioles. We're just going to auto play this one. And Baltimore absolutely puts the bitch slap on the Washington Senators, 11-4. So McNally with the win. And let's look at the box score on this bad boy here. All right, Brooks Robinson, big day at the plate for him. He went 3 for 4, had a home run, 5 runs batted in for Brooks. Davey Johnson, 3 for 5 with a double. Highlights for the Senators, Toby Harrah, 2 for 5 with 2 doubles. And Hundo, Frank Howard, goes 2 for 4. So good thing we didn't do that game. A bit of a snoozer, I guess, there. Washington did put up 3 in the first. Baltimore, 4 in the bottom of the first. Washington tied it up, but the 5th inning was the for whom the bell tolls. Well, Washington, it tolls for the big 5-run 5th for the Baltimore Orioles, winning their opening day. Moving on here. This Sutton Blasting game could be a fun game to do, Dodgers-Astros, but we'll wait and see. The White Sox and the Oakland A's. So Johnson versus Raleigh Fingers. We're just going to auto that one. And the Chicago Cubs win this one, 5-4. Forster gets the win. Locker takes the loss. Again, I like to look at the box scores because I think they're fun. So for the White Sox, May goes 2 for 3, the home run, 2 runs batted in. Jay Johnson goes 1 for 4 with a home run. Bill Melton 1 for 4 with a home run. So Chicago bringing their bats today. For the Oakland A's, Don Mincher went 1 for 5, had a dinger. And Willie Davis 1 for 1 with a home run. So any big happenings? No, just a basic good 5-4 baseball game. What else can you say? All right. Moving along here. Clay Kirby and Gaylord Perry, Giants at the Padres. And San Francisco takes this one 5-1. San Francisco improves to 2-0. San Diego, no wins yet. So Willie McCovey goes 2 for 4 with a home run, 3 runs batted in. Let's see if there's anything else interesting that happened in that game. So Stahl for San Diego goes 2 for 4 with a home run and a stolen base. So Gaylord Perry with the Vagisil, Vaseline, Emery board, sandpaper, everything else, gets his first win. Milwaukee Brewers versus the Minnesota Twins, Krause versus Blyleven. And Milwaukee all over Minnesota, 9-2. Tommy Harper, big day for him, 3 for 5, including a home run. 5 runs batted in for Harper. All right. Here's a decent game here. Braves, Reds. So we'll see. We'll go ahead and auto out Royals and Angels. Here we go. All right. And this one goes to California, 9-1. So they start the season at 2-0. Murphy with the win, Bunker with the loss, Spencer 2 for 4 with his second home run, 2 runs batted in. We're going to go ahead and auto out Sutton versus Blasingame. Los Angeles edges the Houston Astros 3-2. Sutton with the win, Ray with the loss. Brewer picks up the save. I think we'll save. I like the Reed McLaughlin matchup and the fact that the Reds are at 0-1. Atlanta 1-0. So there we go. We'll save that for another night for 1971. So Tim informing us that he should be starting September for Gaylord Perry 1972. Strat starts replay. So guys, yeah, check into that. One of the things I love that Tim does is he does a lot of projects, does season replays obviously and everything like that, but he does like does some really cool things like pitcher replays of a season, which is really cool. So we needed Corey Kluber, Rick Porcello. That was a fun project. And just like we have our gurus in the community, Tim is definitely our strat guru. So I'm sure you guys, come on, 14 people watch. I'm sure all of you have dutifully subscribed to Clee Baseball Fan 879. If you haven't, shame on you. So John says 1970 was a great season. Yes. Yeah. And not just because the Pirates won the World Series. No, it was excellent season. It's going to be fun to see how this plays out. And I really set this up one time. It was like a long time ago for a little Action PC, how to set up something league really quickly. And I thought, like 1971, I think I'll, mess with it. So I've been playing a lot of exhibition games with it and whatever. But yeah, excellent season. And looking forward to the long-term project in this, though, is the Decades League. I love that. I'm just absolutely loving the Decades League. So, yeah, some Action PC baseball announcements. A couple more Negro League seasons are available for pre-order right now. They're released, I think, at the end of the month or close to, or something like that. So just about the time for Black History Month, February. So if you're interested in Negro Leagues, pick them up. And of course, Steve Tate with his great Negro League file. He is our Action PC baseball guru. So there's that. So if Pocket Pennant Run version 4 is released fixed tomorrow, I'll be showing it tomorrow to you guys. And if you play board games, tune in, because the little bit of time I had to play with that existing build, it's amazing. And again, now it's just in the board game light thing. If you're playing as a digital game, you're going to like the improvements made in team management and all kinds of stuff in Pocket Pennant Run. The game's really coming along well. Granted, there's going to be bugs, but this game is a serious contender. Definitely worth it. So, all right, viewership going to probably drop here, but I'm going to do one more game, but not in 1971. We're gonna get out of 71, and are we going to go? I got to get rid of one of these. One of these is the right one. One of these isn't. I'll know in a second. We're going to play a little Decades League baseball. Used to seeing Cousin Ken around. Hopefully he is all right. This is the correct one. Good. All right. Looking at the standings here, the 1980s sit atop the league at 7 wins and 2 losses. And the 1960s, 40s, and 30s tied for second, each at 6 and 3. And the 1970s are at 5 and 4. All right, let's see what we have on tap here. There's been some great matchups, some fantastic games in this. So looking here, we just saw some 1970s baseball, so we'll probably not do that again. We don't see Sandy Koufax a lot, and I think this is a good matchup here. The 1980s versus the 1960s. So Jerry Royce versus Sandy Koufax, I think is a great. There's all kinds of great matchups here, but I think we're going to do that one. And I think there's probably more 80s people in here than 1960s people. So we're going to set them to be human managed. Let's play ball. Again, playing everything, just using League Park in Cleveland for a while was a backdrop, playing at Neutral Park. Down the line, I'm going to assign something else as a Neutral Park. So, but I think it's just funny to watch fly balls going out to right that are doubles, and of course the infielders jumping up there and being bionic. I get just all kinds of joy out of that. All right. All right, here we go. The left arm of God at 1-0 and a 1.00 earned run average versus Jerry Royce. So both pitchers coming into this game undefeated. Koufax 1-0, Jerry Royce 2-0. Looking at the starting defense here for the 1960s, In left field, it's Frank Robinson. In center, the greatest center fielder of all time, Willie Mays. In right, Billy Williams. So Billy Williams getting out of Chicago and making it up to Cleveland pretty quickly here for this ball game. At first base, the baby bull, Orlando Cepeda. At second, Bill Mazeroski. At short, Jim Fregosi. At third base, Ron Santo also making the trip from Chicago to Cleveland. Behind the plate is Elston Howard and Sandy Koufax ready to deal. Tim Raines leads things off here. Ryan Sandberg waits on deck. Tim Raines starting out here with a 189 average, 2 runs batted in. Raines does have 5 steals thus far in the season. Cepeda and Santo looking bunt from Tim Raines, the left arm of God, ready to go. Count 3 balls, 2 strikes. And we're underway as soon as he pitches the ball because it's already 3-2. And Koufax loses Tim Raines. So here we go, the 1980s with superior speed on first. Here's former Cubby second baseman Ryan Sandberg off to a 278 start. He has a round trip or 4 runs batted in. In this file, Tim Raines with 68 steals, and again, 5 on the season thus far. Koufax checks Raines, throws home, pitch out, and Raines wasn't going anywhere. He was looking for that pitch out. 1-0 on the way from Koufax. And Tim Raines, great speed. Elston Howard doesn't even try to throw. That one uncontested. Stolen base number 6 in the 1980s with a runner in scoring position. All right, Sandberg back in the box. Koufax behind 2-0. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fly ball to left, and the judge has it. Fires into Ron Santo. Raines remains at second now. And here's Boggsy tracing the Hebrew letter as he steps in the batter's box. Boggs hitting 294 with 2 runs batted in. And spin around by Koufax, and he doesn't get Tim Raines. Tim Raines just a little bit too crafty. 0-2 pitch on the way. Boggs swings, fly ball. Willie Mays tracks it down. Raines fakes going to third, holds second. He's not going to run on Willie Mays. 2 down now for real power hitter here, Eddie Murray. Eddie Murray, the 250 average, home run, 2 RBI in the season. In this file, 29 home runs for the former Oriole. Koufax with the 0-2 delivery. Murray, big look and a miss as this one catches the outside corner. So they leave one in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the first inning, the 1980s nothing, the 1960s coming to bat. Looking at the starting defense for the 1980s squad, Tim Raines in left, Dale Murphy in center, and Dewey Evans in right. At first base, Eddie Murray. At second, Ryan Sandberg. At short, Cal Ripken Jr. At third, Wade Boggs. Behind the plate, of eternal memory, Gary Carter and Jerry Royce on the mound, former Pittsburgh Pirate, among other clubs. This, again, is an older subset of the baseball history collection, and it's really fun. We've been adding players that have been missing. One of them that was curiously missing was Mickey Mantle, but we remedied that. So, all right, Jim Fregosi to lead things off here. Fregosi off to a 267 start. He has 2 round trippers, guys, with 2 runs batted in. All right, Jerry Royce ready to go. So a battle with 2 lefties here tonight on the mound. First pitch swinging, and Jim Fregosi wastes no time. So hard grounder into left. Evans up with it into Sandberg now. And here comes Bill Mazeroski. Mazeroski hitting 241, 5 ribbies. Fregosi at first does have a stolen base on the season thus far. Royce brings it home. Long fly ball to center. Dale Murphy on his horse brings it down. 1 away. Fregosi gets back to first. And here comes the judge. So Frank Robinson off to a hot start here, hitting 333, 2 homers, 5 runs batted in for him. Gary Carter sets the target for Jerry Royce. Here's the pitch. Robinson, first pitch swinging, driven to center. Dale Murphy staying on that hard hit ball. So 2 down here for Willie Mays. Willie Mays, 0 for 1. 0-2 pitch on the way to Mays. And this one tapped foul, third base side. So Mays being platooned here in the 1960s. Back in the box, no balls, 2 strikes. Cut on, driven to left. Tim Raines brings it down. Top of the second, and we are scoreless. Oh, that is terrible to hear, John. So John telling us he heard that Ryan Sandberg has cancer. Well, man, oh man, prayers. Wow. Yeah, I mean, cancer is it's horrible for everybody. But you know, we think about athletes. You know, so many ways they could be brought low. Certainly, you know, career-ending injuries and things like that. But you know, cancer for an athlete, something especially poignant, and yeah. So, our prayers for Ryan Sandberg. All right, here's Dewey Evans now. So, we're gonna see Dwight Evans, Cal Ripken Jr. Ripken. What's Ripken doing here so far? Can we look? Ripken only in his second game, so we are in game 10 of this little project. Koufax deals 3-0 pitch, and Evans draws the walk. Good eye up there. Koufax not looking too sharp. That's his second walk of the ball game. And Evans is on at first. Here's Cal Ripken hitting just 172. But again, you know, Ripken, you know he's going to do a lot better, huh? 33 homers in this file. And Koufax has just walked 2 consecutive batters. How about that one? All right, here's Dale Murphy, one of the good guys in baseball, hitting an even 300 to start the season. 2 home runs, 9 ribbies for Murphy. 2-0 pitch in the way. Murphy swings, hard hit up the middle, and that's going to be a double play. That was quick. 6-4-3 double play. Dewey Evans moves to third. So the 1980s trying to get something here as the great Gary Carter steps in. 296 to start the season, 3 home runs, 10 runs batted in for Gary Carter. I'm sure many baseball fans have great memories of Gary Carter. From the stretch, Koufax deals little tapper up the first base line. Cepeda races Carter to the bag and doesn't get him. So the run scores. Dewey Evans comes in to score in the 1980s here in the top of the second. Take a 1-0 lead. Gary Carter kind of surprised that he's even on first. Koufax maybe a little slow getting off the mound here, or off the mound to get over and get the feed, the little lateral pass, if you will, from Orlando Cepeda. Right, here's Jerry Royce. Royce hitting, Royce making his first plate appearance here. But Royce, 0 for 5 in the season, but a 184 hitter in the file with 5 runs batted in. All right, lefty-lefty matchup. Gary Carter over there at first with 3 steals in this file. 1-2 pitch on the way, and Jerry Royce looks at a called strike 3. We go to the bottom of the second. The 1980s lead the 1960s 1-0. The 1980s come into this game at 7-2. The 1960s at 6-3. So pretty good matchup here. Orlando Cepeda due up. Ron Santo and Billy Williams. The Baby Bull hitting 379, 2 runs batted in thus far. Royce steals 1-2 pitch, and this one base hit past Ripken into left. And why they're tagging Boggs with a poor play is anybody's guess. So Cepeda aboard, and Ron Santo strides to the plate. Santo off to a really good start here, hitting 357, so 5 for 14 overall. Santo has scored 3 times. Royce steals 1-2 pitch, swung on, and this is going to get down for a base hit in the left field. Tim Raines playing it on the hop. 2 on, nobody out for the right fielder Billy Williams late of the Chicago Cubs. Billy off to a disappointing start, hitting just 152 with 2 runs batted in. 3-1 pitch to Billy Williams. Williams swings, driven to center field, and Dale Murphy tracking him down all day. All right, so 1 down now for the catcher, former Yankee Elston Howard. So nearby Yankee Stadium, there was an Elston Howard Memorial Baseball Park. Nice looking little ballpark. So if you're ever in the Bronx, check it out. All right, so for Elston Howard on the season, this is his first appearance at the plate. 17 home runs in the file for Elston Howard and a 295 average. Jerry Royce brings it home to count 1-1. He swings, fly ball to right field, and this gets past Dwight Evans. He misjudges the ball, and just like that, a run scores for the 1960s, and they tie it up 1-1. Don't know how Evans lost that one, as we have a drizzle falling. Maybe, like Bump Bailey, maybe he lost it in the sun. So who knows? That, of course, in that movie is a little Easter egg, as Babe Herman, that actually happened to Babe Herman. There's a routine fly ball that Herman just completely muffed. Told the manager he lost it in the sun, and it was an overcast day. So I love the fact that the Natural threw a nod to Babe Herman, who was excellent at the bat, but had some interesting fielding and base running exploits, you might say, or adventures. All right. Here is Sandy Koufax, 0-for-3 in the season. 1 out. Tie score, 2 in scoring position. Sandy looking to punch it somewhere along the right-hand side. 0-1 pitch. Koufax swings and a legit base hit up the middle. And Santo and Howard will score 2 RBI single. And Sandy Koufax now gives the 1960s a 3-1 lead. Jim Fregosi, now we're back at the top of the order. Fregosi, singled back in the first. Royce brings it home, 1-1 pitch. And a little squibber back to the mound. Royce to Murray, 2 down. Sandy Koufax moves into scoring position for Bill Mazeroski, who's 0-for-1. Flew out to deep left center. 1-2 pitch. Maz swings. Oh, Sandberg, good stop. Able to get the play off to Eddie Murray. Side retired, but 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors. We have played 2 here at League Park in Cleveland, and it's the 1960s 3, the 1980s 1. Back at the top of the order now for the 1980s decade, and Tim Raines. So Raines, his last time up, drew a walk from Koufax. Koufax, 2 strikeouts, 3 walks thus far. Koufax into the wind, and Raines, first pitch swinging, bounded to Fregosi, room service bounce, and the 6-3 put out, 1 away. Ryan Sandberg now 0-for-1. They're looking for Sandberg to bunt here. Flew out back in the first. Koufax with a 1-2 delivery. And Sandberg, big swing and a miss. Wasn't bunting, but came up with nothing. All right, 2 away. And here's Wade Boggs, fly to center back in the first. Koufax with the 0-1 delivery to Boggs. Boggs swings, fly ball to right. Billy Williams tracks it down. 1-2-3 they go. And we go to the bottom of the third. 1960s lead, 3-1 over the 1980s. Frank Robinson, Willie Mays, Orlando Cepeda due up. Robinson flight out to deep center back in the first. Big left fielder in there. Dangerous hitter. Royce deals 0-1 delivery. And this one, hard hit ground ball into left field. Getting past Cal Ripken. So Robinson is aboard. Robinson with 13 steals in this file, so he can get going. Willie Mays, 0-for-1. Royce deals, and Mays sends this one foul. It'll bounce into the seats, third base side. Mays back in there. The count 1-2. Royce comes home with it. Mays swings, driven deep to center field, off the wall. Coming around to score will be Frank Robinson. Willie Mays with an RBI double. And it is 4-1, 1960s. The 1960s trying as hard as they can. They want to put heat on the first place 1980s squad. So 3 runs in the second. So far, 1 here in the third. Orlando Cepeda, 1-for-1. Singled his last time up. Mays with 21 steals in this file. Royce has a check of Mays. Comes home with Cepeda swings. Driven to left. Off the wall, and coming in to score will be Willie Mays. Orlando Cepeda with an RBI double. This game's starting to get out of hand. It is 5-1. This is looking like our 1971 Cardinals-Cubs game. All right, here's Ron Santo now. Santo 0-for-1, single to left. Cepeda in scoring position. Count 4 on Santo. Nobody down. Ron Santo will change that, though. This one, strike in there by Jerry Royce, his first strikeout of the game. Here's Billy Williams. Billy, nothing for one, flew out his last time up, digs in on the left-hand side. Royce lets it go. 1-2 pitch. Fly ball, center field. Dale Murphy making a nice play there against the wall. He's not going to let anything get away from him. Second great play of the season for him. Elston Howard, 1-for-1 RBI double that scored Orlando Cepeda back in the second inning. Royce comes home, count full. Swung on. Lazy fly ball to left. Tim Raines has it. No trouble at all. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. 3 in the books here. And the 1960s lead the 1980s 5-1. And we will see Eddie Murray, Darrell Evans, and Cal Ripken Jr. Murray struck out back in the first. Koufax with the 0-2 pitch, pop behind the plate. Howard flings aside the mask and makes the catch. 1 away. Dewey Evans now in there. Right fielder walked back in the second against the left arm of God. So Koufax now with 3 strikeouts to accompany the 3 walks he's given up. Pretty much the big story in Koufax was walking 2 consecutive batters in an inning. But the happy news for him is he's given up just 1 hit and 1 run. Koufax deals 1-2 pitch. Oh, look at that. That one was umpire took a little bit of time on that called third strike, but indeed it is. Koufax now picks up number 4. 2 away now for Cal Ripken Jr. Walked back in the second. 0-2 pitch. Oh, look at that. How about it? Big swing and a miss. And 2 consecutive strikeouts by Sandy Koufax will end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 5-1 in favor of the 1960s. And speaking of Sandy Koufax, here he is. Koufax 1-for-1 in the contest. Then we swing back around to the number 1-2 hitters, Jim Fregosi and Bill Mazeroski. Koufax with an RBI single, 2 RBI single that scored Ron Santo and Elston Howard. Royce deals 2-0 pitch. And look at this, Sandy Koufax. Ground ball, base hit to right field. Koufax thinks he's Ty Cobb out there today. How about that? All right, here's Jim Fregosi. We need Aaron Reed to work on a Mel Allen impersonation just so he can say how about that, the way Mel Allen did. All right, Fregosi has a single and he's grounded out in this game. Royce deals the count even at 2. Fregosi swings, tapper to first. Eddie Murray will race to the bag and win it by about 30 leagues. Koufax moves into scoring position for Bill Mazeroski, who is nothing for 2. He's flown out and ground out. Mazeroski digs in. Royce has the sign from Carter. Here's the delivery. Mazeroski swings in the first pitch, grounded to Boggs, and they're looking Koufax back on that ball. So 2 down. Koufax remains at second for Frank Robinson, 1-for-2. Singled his last time up. Royce deals 0-2 pitch. Robinson swings. Tapper to short. Ripken to Murray. Side retired. We go to the top of the 5th. 1960s lead the 1980s 5-1. So 1980s will remain in possession of first place, but they could be tied for first. 1960s looking to climb out of that 3-way second place tie here in the Decades League, created by Dave Cook Sports and part of an old subset of the Baseball History Collection. All right, Dale Murphy, Gary Carter, and Jerry Royce do up the 7, 8, 9 hitters in the top of the 5th inning for the 1980s squad. Murphy, who's catching everything out there in center field, not catching a break at the plate, grounded into double play back in the second. Koufax with the 1-1 delivery. Murphy swings, driven to right. Billy Williams says no problem and snags it for out number 1. Gary Carter, RBI single that scored Dewey Evans back in the second. Koufax brings it, 2-1 pitch. And this one driven out the left, and you can kiss it goodbye. Gary Carter goes downtown, and that's the second run for the 1980s in this game. So inching closer, the 1980 squad, while they're listening to Wang Chung and Bon Jovi and whatever else was big in the 80s. All right, Royce struck out his last time up, so Koufax Leading him in the hitting department this game, 2 hits to Royce's none. 0-1 pitch. Royce grounder, but Mazeroski showing great range there at second, ranging far to his right, firing onto the baby bull for out number 2. All right, back at the top of the order, here's Tim Raines. He has walked and grounded out. 2-2 pitch. Raines swings, fly ball, center field. Mays back on it and makes the catch. So a run on 1 hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's 5-2 now in favor of the 1960s. Jerry Royce will face the number 4, 5, 6 hitters, Willie Mays, Orlando Cepeda, and Ron Santo. RBI double for Willie Mays back in the 3rd that scored Frank Robinson. Royce brings it home, the count full. Mays, good eye up there. This one coming in low. Royce missing there on the hammer. And Willie Mays draws the walk. Cepeda, perfect 2 for 2 today, including an RBI that scored Willie Mays. Royce throws over, Mays back. Royce looks over, comes home with an 0-2 pitch, and Cepeda looks at one in the inside corner. Beautiful pitch there by Jerry Royce. Second strikeout for him. Brings up Ron Santo batting with 1 down. Third baseman for this 1960 squad. Singled and struck out. Light rain continues to fall here in Cleveland. 0-2 pitch. Santo looks at one in the inside corner. Jerry Royce is now fan 3. 2 down. Willie Mays looking a little frustrated out there at first. Billy Williams, nothing for 2. He's flown out twice to right center. 1-1 pitch. Williams swings. And this one a fly to right. Evans brings it down. Side retired. We go to the 6th. This game moving quickly. 5-2 in favor of the 1960s. Thanks again, guys, for coming in, hanging out tonight. And hopefully if you're rolling up a game or you're just chilling out or whatever, thanks for joining me on the eve of a little winter storm coming into the Commonwealth of PA before absolutely god-awful, like terrible, horrible weather coming here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like bullshit degrees during the day and like 10th circle of hell temperatures at night. If you read your Dante, you know what I'm talking about. All right. Ryan Sandberg leading things off here. Sandberg, Boggs, and Murray. Sandberg 0 for 2 in the game. He's flown out and struck out. Koufax deals. Sandberg on the first pitch, lines it into center, base hit. Willie Mays tracks it down, fires it into Bill Mazeroski at second. So Sandberg aboard, and here's number 3 hitter Wade Boggs. He's flown out twice in the game. Koufax throws over, Sandberg back easily. Sandberg, definite threat to steal. He has 1 steal in the season, 27 in the file. Koufax 3-0 pitch. Koufax loses him. So the left arm of God has walked 4 now to accompany 5 strikeouts. 2 aboard, nobody out for Eddie Murray. 1 swing of the bat. And it's a whole new ball game, isn't it? He has struck out and popped a catcher. So Eddie, trying to exercise a little bit more patience, waits for the Koufax delivery. Here it comes. First pitch swinging. Santo will go to first. And do they get it? They do not. Fielder's choice to get the lead runner, though. So Santos stepping on the bag. So 1 away, 2 on. Boggs at second. Murray trails at first. Dwight Evans, who's walked and struck out, now in the box. Koufax with the 1-2 delivery. Swung on this one, driven deep to center field, and it is out of here. Oh, my God. So how about it? The 1980s, Dewey Evans, late of the Boston Red Sox, comes through big time, and it is a whole new ball game. 5-5 now here in the top of the 6th. All right, here's Cal Ripken Jr. batting with 1 down, and the base is cleared. Koufax deals, count 2-2, and Koufax picks up strikeout number 6 as this one just nips the outside corner. So 2 away now for Dale Murphy. Murphy swings, line drive, base hit, left field. 5th hit for the 1980s decade. Brings up Gary Carter now, perfect 2 for 2. Couple RBI here for Gary, including a home run back in the 5th inning. Koufax brings, he's behind 3-1 and loses Gary Carter. All right, so that pitch coming in a bit down and in, and Koufax pitch count getting up there a little bit. And here comes Jerry Royce now, 0-for-2. 1-2 pitch. Royce cuts on this one up the middle, and Fregosi will take it to the bag himself. But 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and the 1980s tied up in big fashion. It's 5-5. If you guys are enjoying our little broadcast here tonight, game 2 of a doubleheader here. First one, Cubbies beat the Cardinals in a 1971 replay. All right, Elston Howard, Sandy Koufax, and Jim Fregosi. Howard in the game with an RBI back in the 2nd, and he flew out in the 3rd. Jerry Royce brings it home. Howard, first pitch swinging, and this one, line drive into the corner, way out there in left field, and Elston Howard will settle for a double. So that's the 2nd double of the day, baseball fans, and it brings up Sandy Koufax, who is a perfect 2-for-2. Can he do it again? 0-1 pitch. Koufax swings, tries to bunt, realizes he's not Ty Cobb. He's out of there, but sacrifice successful, moves Elston Howard to 3rd. So still good play for Koufax. Would have been funny if he would have made it. Fregosi 1-for-3. Of course, Koufax, an excellent basketball player, and that was his favorite sport, I'm told. All right, Royce from the stretch, and the 2-2 pitch. Jim Fregosi swings, ground ball to 3rd. Boggs will go to 1st for the sure out. Coming into scores, Elston Howard. In the 1960s break the tie. It's now 6-5, 2 down. Bases empty for Bill Mazeroski. Disappointing 0-for-3 for Maz. Count 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Mazeroski will swing and miss, and he will take his position out at second base. Side retired, but a run on 1 hit, no errors. We go to the top of the 7th. The 1960s reclaim the lead. It is 6-5 for the 1960s. 6 runs, 10 hits, no errors. The 1980s, 5 runs, 5 hits, no errors. The 1960s have stranded 5. And the 1980s, 4. Light rain continuing to fall here. Just a little zephyr at 3 miles per hour as Tim Raines steps in the box with the top of the order now. Raines flew out his last time up. Koufax with the 1-1 pitch. Raines swings. High fly ball, left field. Frank Robinson gloves it for out number 1. Brings up Ryne Sandberg now. Sandberg singled back in the 6th. Koufax brings the 3-1 pitch and loses him. So Sandy Koufax, even in strikeouts and walks in this game, not sharp for the left arm of God, but holding on to a 1-run lead right now. Wade Boggs is 0-for-2 and a walk. Sandberg leads off first, 1 away here in the top of the 7th inning. Koufax deals. Boggs first pitch swinging. No, the throw down to Sandberg and a pitch out, and Sandberg picks up the steal. So for Ryne Sandberg, it's his 2nd steal of the season. Runner in scoring position, Wade Boggs back in the box. Tying run in scoring position for the 1980s. Koufax with the 1-0 delivery. Boggs swings. Little dribbler to short. Fregosi will go to 1st on the 6-3 putout. Sandberg stays put at 2nd. 2 away now. Eddie Murray having just a disappointing season all around. He's 0-for-3. MV, good morning, my friend. Great to see you. Koufax brings it home now. Murray swings. Grounder back to the mound. Koufax to Cepeda. 7th inning stretch time. The 1960s lead the 1980s 6-5. All right, MV, I hope you're doing well over there. So MV up at least at I don't know, for a Sunday morning to be up this early. I don't know, MV. The other day you came in at 4 a.m. my time, or no, it was 4 a.m., 3 a.m. or 3:30 a.m. your time. So anyhow, MV doing some really good. It's great to see him broadcasting again. I know he's doing Fields of Dreams league, the Field of Dreams leagues that those guys have. Great stuff. So check out MV, our resident Limey by way of West Virginia. All right, Frank Robinson 1 for 3 will lead things off. The number 3, 4, 5 hitters. Frank Robinson, the greatest center fielder, Willie Mays, and then Orlando Cepeda. Yeah, well, I know, but see, since it's still dark, for me, John, I still think it's Saturday night. So that's how my twisted mind works. To me, it is not Sunday morning until it's light out. So that's my story, and I'm sticking by it, man. All right. Years of being a musician, I think, just got that into me. Anyhow, this one, Liner to Fregosi. So we like, it's like you're in your third set, and to you, it's like it's Saturday night. So maybe someday I'll break that habit and be able to call this Sunday morning. All right, Willie Mays is 1 for 2. Dwayne, huge fan of Willie Mays. Dwayne Mart's not here, so I can't yank his chain. Damn it. RBI that scored Frank Robinson in this game. Count even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. May swings, grounded deep to short. Ripken backing up, playing it on the little hop. Fires onto Eddie Murray for the 6-3 putout. So 2 away for Orlando Cepeda is 2 for 3. 2-0 pitch. Baby Bull swings and what a sliding catch out there in center field by Dale Murphy. Dale Murphy has been practically the entire outfield today for the 1980s squad. Wow. All right, so here we go. 8th inning action, 6-5. This has turned out to be a pretty fine ball game. All right, Darrell Evans with 3 RBI leads things off here. Be followed by Cal Ripken Jr. and Dale Murphy. Koufax behind 3-1 and tapped to short. Fregosi up with it over to Cepeda, and Evans is retired for out number 1. Still continues a very, very light rain here in Cleveland as Cal Ripken Jr. in there. Ripken has struck out twice in this game. Also walked. 0-2 pitch. Ripken swings. And this will just be your textbook 4-3 putout. Maz had to barely move there. So 2 down now for Dale Murphy, who is 1 for 3, singled back in the 6th. Left arm of God delivers, high fly ball. Frank Robinson has it. And a rather unremarkable 8th inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th, still 6-5. So Royce seems fine. Looking at Royce's pitch count here, we may have to go to the chat and see because we have the 1960 or 1980s set as human manager. So we may call upon you guys if we have to go to the pen. All right, Santo, Williams, and Howard due up here in the home half of the 8th inning. Royce, full count on Santo, and Royce gets his 5th strikeout of the game as Ron Santo, just big swing and nada. All right, Billy Williams, disappointing, nothing for 3. 3-1 pitch. Billy Williams draws the walk, so Jerry Royce issues his 2nd free pass. And here's Elston Howard now. So Howard certainly would like to add to this 6-5 lead. Has an RBI in this game. He's doubled twice. Carter out to have a quick word with Jerry Royce. The lefty deals 2-2 pitch. Howard swings, hard ground ball, and Ripken bobbles the ball. So here we go. Luis Aparicio now is the new runner at first. Howard's day is done. And Jerry Royce is at his expected pitch count. Let's make a mound trip. He looks tired. Gentlemen, we need us a pitcher. You 1980s guys, who do you like? Give it a minute here, and then I'm just going to pick somebody at random. And boy, I'll tell you what, getting a lot of usage here. So, let me see who's up here right now. So one down. Koufax is 2 for 2. Royce is tired. I don't know. Koufax seeing Royce pretty well. Maybe it's time to make a little bit of substitution right now. Let's bring in John Franco. Didn't hear anything from the chat. I'm bringing in John Franco. All right. Royce's day is done. 2 on, 1 out. Looking at John Franco's number, making his, let's see, he's just worked 1 inning and struck out 2 in this season. All right, the lefty ready to deal now to a legendary lefty. Billy Williams at second. Luis Aparicio trailing him at first. 1 away, 6-5 your score here in the bottom of the 8th. And here's the pitch. As they, oh, look at that. Murray will go to second and get Aparicio. Runners at the corners. 2 down now for Jim Fregosi. Again, trying to add to the 6-5 lead. John Franco from the stretch in the 2-2 pitch. And Jim Fregosi punched out. We go to the top of the 9th. And Sandy Koufax will face Gary Carter, a pinch hitter, and then Tim Raines. All right, Koufax ready to work now to Gary Carter. Koufax very uneven today. 6 strikeouts, 6 walks. Koufax brings it to count 2-2. Gary Carter, swing and a miss. Got a piece of it. Bill Freehan into catch, by the way. All right, 1 down here, and we're going to go to the bench. And I'm kind of liking, who am I liking here? Robin Yount. Let's bring in Robin Yount, man. All right, so Robin Yount, first plate appearance in this file, though. 308 hitter, 23 home runs, 94 runs batted in for Yount. Koufax with the 2-2 pitch, and Robin Yount swinging a miss. 8th strikeout for Sandy Koufax in the game here in the 9th. And here's Tim Raines, 2 down. Last chance. Tim Raines 0 for 3 with a walk. 0-2 pitch. Sandy Koufax pitches this one line foul. Third base side. Count 0-2. Koufax is tired, but computer managed. He's going to go 0-2 pitch. Line to right, base hit. All right, and coming to the plate now is Ryne Sandberg. Sandberg 1 for 3 with a walk. Tim Raines at first. Koufax throws over. Count full. Sandberg swings, and this one line to left. Robinson traps the ball, and Raines wasn't sure, and then advances to third. So they thought at first, but it was a trap. So Ron Paranowski will now come on to pitch. So one Dodger replaces another. Paranowski looking to button things down here. Runners at the corners. Raines at third. Sandberg at first. Speed on the base paths for Wade Boggs. Wade Boggs is 0 for 3 and a walk. From the stretch, Paranowski, the southpaw, deals 2-0 pitch. Boggs swings, and guess what? Guess what? A 2 RBI double, And the 1980s pull ahead 7-6. Third double of the season for Wade Boggs. Peranowski. Oh, hang down your head, Ron Peranowski. My goodness. All right, Eddie Murray, 0 for 4 now. He's due. Peranowski deals 2-1 pitch. Murray swings. Base hit to left. Coming around to score is Wade Boggs. And now the 1980s have the first significant lead in this game. It's 8-6. All right, here is Dwight Evans. Peranowski not getting it done, guys. Just not getting it done. Peranowski with the 0-2 pitch. Evans swings. Short, Hopper out to short. And Fregosi to Cepeda. We go to the bottom of the ninth. And we need a pitcher. We need us a pitcher. And I'm thinking here that Tekulve, we're just going to bring in Teak. All right. With that great submarine sidearm delivery, the bespeckled 9'8" Kent Tekulve. All right, he will face Bill Mazeroski, Frank Robinson, and Willie Mays, the number 2, 3, 4 hitters. Thanks, guys, for joining me tonight. It was a lot of fun having you in here. And Willie McCovey will pinch hit. So here's Stretch. And routine grounder to Sandberg. And McCovey is out number 1. Frank Robinson now 1 for 4. 1-0 pitch. Robinson swings, high fly ball to right. Evans tracks it down. What can Willie Mays do here? They're down to their final out. Came into the ninth leading this game and lost it. Peranowski giving up that big hit. 3-1 pitch. Willie Mays keeps it alive, draws the walk, and the tying run comes to the plate for the 1960s and the dangerous Orlando Cepeda, who is 2 for 4 in the game, including an RBI double. Tekulve with the sidearm sort of delivery. Mays back easily. Tekulve, 1-2 pitch. Ground ball to third. Boggs will go to first, and that's your ball game. Good battle it was, I gotta say. So John Franco gets the win. Sandy Koufax takes the loss. The 1980s continue. They remain in first place. They improved to 8-2. The 1960s fall to 6-4. For the victorious 1980s, Gary Carter goes 2 for 3, the home run, 2 runs batted in. Gerald Evans, 1 for 4 and a home run, 3 runs batted in. Ryan Sandberg, 2 for 4 and a stolen base. Elston Howard, really the only highlight for the 1960s, 2 for 4 with 2 doubles, no triples in this game. Damn it. But 2 home runs, one by Darrell Evans and one by Gary Carter. So Jerry Royce went 7 1/3, 10 hits, 6 runs, all earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. John Franco got the win, pitched 2/3 of an inning and struck out a batter. Kent Tekulve came in a save situation, walked a batter, but gets the save. Sandy Koufax, 8 2/3 innings, 7 earned runs, 2 home runs, walked 6, struck out 8. Ron Peranowski, tagged with the blown save, worked just a third of an inning, gave up 2 hits, an earned run, and there you go. So player of the game will be Dwight Evans. Well-deserved. If I were to co-award, I would have to also say Gary Carter. All right, so we'll just auto-play the rest, and that is it. I'll be back tomorrow night with, hopefully, with Pocket Pennant Run version 4. That's what I'm hoping. All right, so we're going to auto-play a few of these out. All right, Bob Lemon versus Greg Maddux, 1950s versus the 1990s, both teams at 4-5. Somebody's going to be at 500. It's going to be the 1990s. Rob Nen gets the win over Bob Lemon. All right, we're going to leave Rixie Radbourne. I think that's a good lineup or a good matchup. As we're going to leave Jenkins and Smoltz. All right, so Ed Walsh versus Claude Passau. The 1910s had a strong start to the season, now fallen to 4-5. And the 1940s, surprising everybody at 6-3. Here we go. And the 1940s continue their winning ways, improving to 7-3 and 3 as they defeat the 1910s 6-1. Beggs getting the win. Walsh, Big Ed Walsh, falls to 1-2. Ralph Kiner goes 2 for 3, hits his 4th home run, 2 runs batted in that game. The 1900s versus the 1930s, I'm also going to save. So that is it. Guys, thanks for coming in tonight. Always enjoy getting on here and hanging out with you guys. There's a few guys in here I haven't seen in a while. Mike Silva has been a long, long time since I've seen him, and Carlos Yaz. Thanks, guys, for coming in. Clinton Parks, Tim, Aaron Reed, MV, all you guys. Thank you so very, very much. And I hope you guys have a great Saturday night, Sunday morning, whatever you want to call it. And till the next time, we'll see you around the batting cage. Oh, absolutely, Nathaniel. And you too. It's been ages since I've seen you, pal. So everybody, if you're in the path of the storm, be safe. In the cold weather, be safe. All right. Good night. See you around the batting cage, guys.